Good morning. I'm in my basement because that's the closest thing. I have to be hardwired to the internet in order to make this work, but let's see if I could explain exactly what we do. So, the markets, they don't move erratically. They move in these things called trend channels, right here. And if I squeeze the time, you can see there's trend channels everywhere. And I draw these things manually. So let's say, like right here. This is the easiest way for me to explain what we do. Right here, so it's basically like this, right? Thing is, at the beginning and at the end of these trend channels, we have events called divergences. And we know, basically what I'm trying to do is, what we do is we can isolate the tops of these channels. And as you can see right now, I'm in a trade. My risk is very low because my stops are right above, technically this shouldn't be up here, it should be up here. My stop is right above where these events occur that are called divergences. So here's my chart that actually draws these divergences for me. These are indicators. This red line that goes across my whole screen is a divergence. A divergence means when you have a higher high, but the indicator shows a lower high, meaning price is going up, but the momentum is going down. So we have ways to, and then we have another thing. We know that these channels, they last for a certain amount of time, approximately 2 hours. My method of trading is what we're specifically looking for and what we can teach people is to identify the morning reversal. Now imagine this point right here is that, depending on what time frame you look at, you can find the divergence. If we flip back to 15 minutes, the longer the time frame, the stronger the divergence. So if we flip back, you can find a divergence someplace over here. This channel ended, let's see, if we go to 3 minutes, we gotta just find it. Oh, there's an event that happened over there. Basically, every channel begins and ends with a divergence. Even if I can't find it on 3 minutes, it probably happened on 1 minute. I'll go back. It won't. And when you do the time period, it gets lower. You'll see. So right here, there was a divergence that started this channel. Every channel begins and ends with a divergence. This. So basically, where I'm at right now is this is just one of these things that we use. This is a market map. Shows us where price is ranging. So there's a huge hole over here. Okay, that doesn't make sense. This is a terrible video. Sorry. Hold on a second. So basically, what you can see is I'm in a trade right now. What I've done is I've identified the top and I sold it, right? So basically, for every contract that you are in, it's $50 per contract per point. So I have 2 contracts, that's $100 per point, and right now I'm up $200, right? But what's going to happen is this thing, in my opinion, is going to go all the way down like this. It's going to break. So I have a this is what I call my you can't see it. Yeah, you can see it. This is what I call my Big Mac strategy. We're looking for the Big Mac over here. Big Mac means it's going to be a rapid price, it's going to be a rapid, you're going to make a lot of money. Basically, this is what we can teach. We also have different methods of teaching. So I use 4 or 5 different trade setups that I'll go into. Number one thing is this isn't here every day. You know, today, in order for me to know that this is going to work, I know that it has to be a trajectory has to be at least like 35-degree angle. Markets have to be oscillating, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. But like this, you see? Let me show you something else. So from yesterday, it's easier to look on here. Look what happened yesterday. And you can kind of see as I zoom out, you can see these channels. So this is you see this right here? This is where a channel started around 6 a.m. yesterday. Boom. We can isolate these things. Actually, we have indicators that'll draw it for us, these types of points. We have other ways of detecting them. We're going to teach people how to use their eyes to detect them instead of using here. You see there's points everywhere. The tops and the bottoms of these channels, there's always divergence signals. So this is like a real thing. You could pick like any freaking day. We can go there and we can find tops and bottoms. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, the top of this channel sometimes it's like a violent thing, you know, it's very volatile at the tops and the bottoms. So the trader's job is to get as close, well, look, this is beautiful, is get as close to the top and the bottom as possible. What the fuck? So right here, this thing is already broke through my trend channel. I mean, this is like, so right here it's like $300, right? So like, let's say you had 5 contracts. 5 contracts would be $250 a contract. You would be up right now 250 times 3. You'd be up like $700, $750 right now. And look, now I'm up 325. We have another 8 minutes. It's pretty cool. So I have a strategy where I'm going to take my profits just in case. So my profit, this is a totally arbitrary and random fucking thing that I set up. But let's say I set it up so I can take out 1 contract. So I got filled on 1 contract, and then I leave 1 contract as a runner. So now this trade, I've already made $225 or whatever, 160, whatever. I've already made some money, and I'm letting this run because it's and I'm actually going to put my stop. I'm gonna go candle for candle. So I'll put my stop over here. To protect my profits. So if it keeps going down, I'm good. You know, I have another buy limit over here. Dude, it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm kind of shot, but there's money to be made here. See, 95% of people in the market fucking suck at this shit. You know, they lose their money. So let's say fuck it. I'm happy with this shit. Actually, let it go down even more. This trend channel break is also a signal for me to sell. So I would be selling right now. If I missed this top, I would be selling right now again. This thing is going to go down even more. But you know what? I'm not greedy. I'm happy with the $325, whatever, in profit. And this is just 2 contracts I had. This is just, you know, this is an exercise. I actually have a trading coach who's a psychologist. I have like a psychologist dude who I'm working with. But this is basically the system. Right here, what happened, I got out because I'm in this video right now. But I would have stayed in this. And you could make a lot more money depending on how many contracts you want to sell. We have ways to figure out what's going on in terms of volatility, momentum, where we're at right now. So right now in this chart, see the momentum is it's all the way down. I like to use this stochastic. I don't know why it looks like because it's so spread it out like this. So right here, I could kind of tell it might pop up a little bit, so I don't want to lose my profits. And I got out of the trade. Point is we are able to isolate and teach how to get at the top. So even though it says I made $200, right? I actually, the market has a way of faking you out. So, like I said, 95% of people aren't successful at trading. So you got to do what the 5% of the people are doing. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. You don't want to do common fucking tactics of trading and this and that and looking at a million different indicators. Basically, what we're doing is looking at price action purely. Plus, I have other indicators like these lines. They're called golden reversal lines, where the computer is actually automatically calculating places where it's going to go up and down. You see, I got out and it just popped up. So I'm actually not confident in this total trend, but this thing should keep going down, and it will, because it's making a new trend. It's making lower highs and lower lows. So if you want, we can already draw a trend channel showing that this thing is going down like this, right? It's a small trend channel, but it's price action at its finest. So what we've done is, this is a strategy that has been taught to me by someone who's been trading for like 20-30 years, and not everybody can do this, but what I can say is that once you know how the market works, and once you know how the market works, and we can teach that, you can kind of see how long a trend is going to be a trend, and we know when to find the end. The trend is your friend until the end, and what we do is we find the end of the trend, which is like right here where I sold it. If you notice, I'm fucking sick at catching these. That's what I've been practicing for the past year, has been looking for these tops. It's early in the morning, right? So for me, I like trading early in the morning, because early in the morning you get smoother transitions. Towards market open, it might be more volatile, it might be more violent and harder to catch. But even though, my point is even though we don't know for sure, there's no trade that's 100%, but we have ways of, we put stops in place. So the first stop that I put in place is, my stop is always, what is this? My stop is always right above the divergence. So my first stop was very tight. The closer you can get to this point, the safer it is for your trade. And that's what we want to do. So even though if I'm wrong, like I was wrong over here, I got stopped out and I lost like a point. Point is even though you get stopped out and you lose a point, you re-enter and you take big gains. So I lost a point over here, but I re-entered, and you saw I came out with like 3.5 points or whatever. This was a classic trap, what happened over here. But we know that, and that's why we put in specific targets that we reach. Even though this broke through the channel, this is weird, because it is early in the morning, but these things happen all day long. All day long. It's not about just the morning, but what I like to personally trade, the morning reversal, because then I work for 2 hours and then I'm done. I have the rest of my day free. I can spend the day with my wife. I can spend the day with whoever, and the opportunities are endless with this shit. So this is a strange thing that happened here. Sometimes this happens. This is a fake out. This was a trap. Most likely what's going to happen is this thing is going to pump even higher, and it's going to do it, because what happened this morning, it wasn't really a strong divergence. What happened over here, I have 15 seconds left, but it wasn't really strong. What it's going to do is it's going to leave a huge wick like this when it does actually happen. We have ways of knowing it, so we're going to get in over there. But we're still in the trend over here.